Perfect.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's been a long season and we're back. We're gonna let this intro ride out for you guys because I enjoy it and I've seen a couple and I just like this one, so we're gonna listen to it. It's awesome. As soon as I get the system to operate, function, activate data.
Perfect.
Alright, welcome. I think we have all systems go here. Looks like the microphone is working. And the sound is working. And this fly ass intro is going. Cool guys, this is the intro. Welcome back. I'm gonna get everything ready. We got some heavy stuff to talk about today. And we'll get to all that. First things first. Let's smoke what we smoke. You know, a lot of these guys say sip tea, but you know, some men sip tea, but around here we either gonna smoke some or we're gonna drink some cognac. We ain't sipping a whole lot of tea. Listen to this fly's intro. Alright, you guys, welcome back to Politically Incorrect. This is your host, Reverend Williams. I'm just bringing the truth as I see it fit. You can see my fly ass face down here in the corner on your screen. That's an actual picture of me, a friend of mine, cartoon. So I am that fly in real life. So anyway, we got some stories to talk about today. We're going to be talking about the church. We're going to have a moment of silence for some of these pastors and some of the shit that they've been doing. But, you know, we're going to get to it and I'm going to give you my opinion on it. Just as sure as my name is Rev Williams. So we got a couple of stories to talk about today. Well, first thing I want to tell you guys is thanks for the subscribers that I've gotten over this last month. It's been really cool. Thanks for the people that have commented. I think that's been really cool. I've been really busy this last month at the job, so I haven't cranked out as many videos, but today is Saturday and I'm off. So I'm going to try and do as many as I can and talk about as much shit as I can. Get the videos up so one day I can be a full-time YouTuber and not have to work as hard as I do now. So anywho, like I said, today we're going to talk about some of these pastors, some of the stuff they've been doing. Some of you may call them apostles. I call them fake apostles. Some of you may call them prophets. I call them a fake prophet. But I don't want to offend anybody. But I just want to tell the stories as I've seen them come out. And I'm going to give you my opinion, as always. So we're going to get started with the first story today. And our first one is going to be about Mr. David Taylor. Sorry about the lag. It should click on here in a minute. You'll see his picture. Now, formerly known by Apostle David Taylor, I'm just going to call him David Taylor. Now, if you haven't seen this man before, I'm going to give you a little bit of history on him. Some time ago, probably a year ago, Mr. Taylor was given a deposition on his church. I don't want to say his church's name because I don't want these people coming after me or my YouTube channel right now. I'm not out that big yet, right? But you can see his picture. You can Google David Taylor and everything else about him will come up. You don't need me to tell you that. It's really easy to find. So anywho, Mr. Taylor had to give a deposition on his funding for his church and where the money was going. If you haven't seen that deposition, you should go see it. It's an absolute disaster. This man is buying all kinds of stuff. He has houses all over the place, and that's what a lot of these guys are doing now. They're just making money, doing whatever they want. in the name of God is what I call it, right? So, anyways, if you don't know what a deposition is when you go before the court and you have to answer questions. They ask you a lot of hard ass questions, and you got to sit there and you got to answer them. And they go through everything you said, and it's kind of a back and forth about what you wrote down, how much is it the truth, and they try and break it down, and you have to sit there the whole time and go through that. And Mr. Taylor did that. It was absolutely disastrous. If you haven't seen it, it is on YouTube. I won't play any clips from it here, but this is something you have to go check out. And before we get any deeper on Mr. Taylor, I also have to give a shout out to Layla Lynn's TV. She's the best when it comes to these exposing these pastors and their stories. I watch her and Lovely T and Tasha K. For a lot of my videos. That's why I say we're gonna drink cognac and smoke, and I'm gonna let them give you the tea. I'm just giving you a guy's perspective to all this shit. My perspective, I should say, not every guy's, because every guy may not feel the same way. So anyway, David Taylor. So he did a deposition last year. Now this year he's having issues with his female companion. So his ex-wife did a video exposing him. You can go watch that video. That video it's a hard video to watch. These guys again. They're doing these things in the name of the Lord. They're manipulating people. They're manipulating women. They're making a shit ton of money while they're doing it, and they hide behind the veil of Christianity or whatever you want to call it. So, but his newest story, Mr. Taylor, he was in a relationship with Vicki Yohe, and I may have said her name wrong. I'm gonna get a lot of names wrong because these people, I don't invest a lot of time into them. That's just not my style, but I'm just giving you the story that I see fit. And Vicki is the lady here on the right. She's a singer. Some of you may know her, some of you may not know her. But a couple of days ago, on Layla Lynn's channel, she dropped a video exposing David Taylor. Now, this lady was so hurt. She was so hurt. I feel so bad for her, but she was telling her truth. She believed everything this man was telling her, and that's not her fault. It's his fault. You know what I'm saying? And from what she was saying, she's not the only one. He's buying her red bottom shoes, buying her a new car, all in the name of God, and he's making money. These guys are making a lot of money. People are paying tithes 4 or 5 times a day. If you do those numbers over a week and you got 20-some thousand people coming to your church, these are big numbers. It's ridiculous. And not only that is that these guys are not only are they not being prosecuted for some of these crimes that they're doing. If you haven't seen this deposition about David Taylor, it is absolutely crazy. We're talking millions and millions of dollars gone, spent, right? No one seems to care. I don't understand it. Anywho, so Vicki dropped a video talking about how he broke her heart. He's got women all over the place, and give him a couple days here, a couple days there. Master manipulators these guys are. But you can go check out Vicki's video. You can find that online. I would highly recommend you go watch it. Crazy, crazy story. These pastors it's women around them all day long. That's why as men, I just want to tell you, sometimes you have to be careful bringing your wife to the church and then the pastor want to come all up in your house. Like, you can't be doing that type of shit. I don't care who these men are. Men are still men at the end of the day. And we have to remember that. Men will be men. And you can't just have anybody in your house, can't have anybody around your woman. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are perfect examples of that. Now, David Taylor, he's a dog-ass motherfucker. We all know that. You can look at Vicki, you can go to his ex-wife, you can go watch his deposition, and then boom, it's all right there. It's a 2-minute search, and you can find all this information. But go check out this video. This poor woman was crushed. Her heart was broken by this guy. He did her kind of bogus, And to me, if you're at that stature and you're doing these type of things, you can just be honest. Now he's calling her a traitor because he broke her. Who says that? You're a traitor to the church now? No, you're just a dirty motherfucker. That's just what it is. You just be a dog, be a dog. You got to call it like you see it. But check this out, man. I'm going to... The church stories, people want to jump out the window for some of these guys, and they're just some dog-ass motherfuckers. So anyway, this next story that's coming up is a little bit older, but it fits the same category. Pastor get with some guy's wife, they pray it off, and everybody's forgiven, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand that. Like, you're not gonna come into my home, and I know it takes two people to cheat. No, and I think this next story really kind of portrays that. So you have Brian Carn, prophet, quote unquote, fake prophet is what I call him, and the musician Pierre Whitlow. Now, earlier this year, the story's a little bit older, but earlier this year, Pierre dropped this video. This is a picture from the video of him and his wife. Pierre is a musician, and he worked with Brian. And from the video that Pierre released, Brian, quote unquote, manipulated his wife, and they had an affair for 3 weeks. His man's boss. These guys don't care. The prophet, quote unquote, is sleeping with some dude's wife for 3 fucking weeks. Dog ass motherfuckers. I just keep trying to tell you. So these pastors and prophets and apostles, whatever you want to call them, like I said, they're just men. So this guy's wife even spoke in this video, and again, you can go find all these videos. I don't want to copyright anybody. I give shout outs where I see fit, but a lot of these things you can find. I don't want to get my channel flagged too much, but again, I want to bring you some heat, and I want to talk some shit. But this Pierre Whitlow and Brian story was absolutely amazing in and of itself. So they had an affair with the lady's wife for 3 weeks. They tried to pay him off. He said no, he did a video and came on and talked about it. She was on the video, said how it was a tough time for the church. No, it ain't a tough time for the church. It's a tough time for your ass because you decided to go sleep with the pastor knowing you had a husband. I don't understand that shit. I don't understand. It's not a tough time for the church. It's just a tough time for your cheating ass. And, husband, of course, man of God, he takes it right back. Nah, it just wouldn't be that easy. I don't understand how that works. But again, it's just another pastor taking down somebody else's wife, not feeling no remorse for it and hide behind the veil of Christianity and the Bible. Dog ass motherfuckers, man. So I said today's story was going to be a little bit hot. So we're doing 3 of these guys today. We're not just going to do 2. And see, I just don't want to focus on black pastors, right? Because they're not the only one with mega churches, and they're not the only ones having affairs and still coming back to church on Wednesdays and Sundays. They're not the only ones, cheating on their wives and this and that and touching women the way they're not supposed to be and hugging and kissing on women. They're not the only ones doing it. So, again, as we continue, we have Mr. Bill Hybels, and I probably said his last name wrong. It's Bill, Hybels. Now, this is another story you can look up. This one is one of the more recent ones, though. Pause. Let me hear a lighter. What's going on here. My blood gets boiled when I start talking about this kind of shit because, these guys are making a lot of money doing this shit, and they still can't keep their shit together. So it gets upsetting. So anyway, emotions aside, I'm just here to deliver the news. So Mr. Bill here, he resigned. Now what I noticed the difference is that Bill resigned from his church, but David Taylor, do you think his ass went anywhere? Nope. Brian Carn, do you think he went anywhere? Nope. That's what I don't get. Bill's ass is out of the church, okay? Bill also had affairs. He's been reported of kissing women unwillingly and hugging them unwillingly. Now, some people they'll jump in and they say allegedly, allegedly this and allegedly that. No, these aren't alleged. These are facts, okay? I know all proven in the court. Okay. The church knew about a lot of this shit since 2013, right? It's 2018, so that's 5 years they knew about this, and they still let this man show up and make money every Sunday. See, the problem that I have with a lot of these cases is that the church will know about this stuff because they'll find out through quote unquote counseling, but they don't do anything about it. They don't prosecute these guys. That's the type of shit that just gets my blood boiling because they just do what they want. We're not even going to talk about the Catholic Church today, but at some point we'll get into that. I think when my channel is powerful enough and I can talk about it without, losing everything, or I can create another YouTube channel and just get my subscribers to just jump over there real quick. But I don't got that kind of power right now, so I'm gonna let the Catholic Church have its peace until I do. But when I do, we're gonna get into that as well. But we just have to start looking out for these quote unquote pastors and apostles and prophets and such. These guys are dangerous. Sometimes they're wolves in sheep's clothing. But it's okay to be a wolf out here sometimes. It's just not when you're a pastor and you're supposed to be giving counseling and then you end up sleeping with these men's wives or whatever the case may be because they're weak. They're weak. It's a lot of sad shit. But I am proud of myself. I didn't cough much during this video, which is good. I'm trying to work on that. But we gotta look out for these pastors. These are some dangerous motherfuckers. They're dogs, just like most men are. So they say.
Perfect.